Gerhard, you've been in the mobile industry for over 10 years.
Mhm.
What's the status of the mobile industry now?
I was, Whenever I'm getting a question like that, I'm thinking back to 1954, the year when we got the first cards for banking. And people are always assuming mobile is faster, and mobile is faster, but I've seen the first mobile banking projects actually was about portfolio management and selling and buying stocks in 2000 when it was still good through a browser. And we've then seen evolution where we've moved through SMS payments for digital goods. We then saw the first mobile banking projects coming up 2004-5. We then saw contactless coming about. So yeah, mobile is accepted as a platform. Mobiles are secure enough. 8 years ago, people were doubting that. And the uptake is starting to happen.
It's no longer like a trendy thing, it's now commonplace.
Actually, before it was even worse because there was the question, would data on mobiles be acceptable for bank security requirements? And it's not the hot and the wow. We need to deliver something that has both the bank's requirements fulfilled as well as is attractive on the consumer side, the convenience, the wow, the simplicity.
Where do you see mobile moving in the next 3 years, especially in terms of emerging markets in the rest of Europe?
There'll be quite a difference in terms of like if you're looking at Europe or US versus emerging markets. In Europe, you will probably see the start of contactless payments happening, more widespread deployment, a mobile banking heading in towards being a more convenient channel as part of a multi-channel strategy. While in emerging countries, it's really about taking cash to mobile, kind of enabling underbanked or unbanked people and bring them into the electronic system. And we've seen the first few countries where that started off, and I think in 3 years we'll see many more of those, where mobiles become a standard means of interacting with financial services.
In terms of emerging markets with mobile, are we talking about Africa or parts of Eastern Europe, and where is this emerging markets region?
On one hand, you could think naturally about the big countries like India and China, but Southeast Asia, for sure, Africa, major parts, Latin America, Middle America, for sure. But there's even in the US, to my knowledge, 20 million unbanked households. So there's some opportunities too.
You can't forget the poor in the developed world, the developed world as well.
Yeah, right. But in the emerging countries, we just need to see how could you take people from a cash paradigm and move it electronic. It is about where is my next branch? It's too far to travel. At this time, I can't do business over distance without involving middlemen and losing value in the chain. Right? At this time, cash is a security issue. So if we're able to resolve all those, or at least give a help with implementations, there will be a major change happening. And we see good examples in quite some countries already, like in India, Philippines, or Kenya.
So in terms of the long game, where do you see mobile in the long-term future?
Again, I would differ a bit between what we have today as developed and emerging, and there will be changes happening. But in the developed world, in 10 years, I could envisage that most of the plastic gets replaced, because the phone is the plastic once we move contactless. Plus, it has that, what's my account, what did I transact, have a history, have a lot of additional services from location-based services, augmented reality, driving a complete different behavior, because payment or money is only the last part of the chain. The purchases, the interaction with merchants is the key. In the emerging countries, we will see more prevailing cash replacement that is starting now. And with that, very specific services for certain income classes that we wouldn't consider in Europe was doing. Like in India, for example, we launched something called the OV Life Tools. Very similar, simple services for a very low price level, but it's the volume in the market that gets interested. So with that, enable purchases of these kind of services in a much broader way, down to the very simple merchant payments.